Today, our first speaker is going to be from Rentech. His topic is Rentech's Fischer Tropsch technology development.
Thanks, good morning. My name is Sergio Mohedas. I'm with Rentech in Denver, Colorado. I'm here to tell you a little bit about what Rentech is doing, what it has been doing for the past few years, and where we are heading. It's an overview, and it's not a very technical presentation. You may have noticed that the gentleman listed in your program is not listed here. This is because this presentation has had many owners, and Mr. Claude Corcadel is not with the Rentech anymore. That's why it's not here. Dr. Wright's supposed to be presenting this talk, but he couldn't be here. But since he's the boss, he can send anybody. So, well, let's start talking about what is the Rentech role in this current energy situation. Basically, with the sustained high oil prices and somewhat unstable supply, people is rapidly looking at different feedstocks, especially those that are widely available. And coal is one of them here in North America especially. And so Rentech business model is focused on converting coal into liquid fuels. And we will be working in other carbon-bearing material in the near future, like biomass as well. But right now we are focused on coal. Basically, it's taking an ugly rock like that and converting it in a pretty liquid like the one on the picture. It sounds simple, but it has some tricks, especially if you want to be economically competitive. The need for fuels is, I don't have to remark that, and basically the oil prices is driven research on different feedstocks that are more available and cheaper than oil. That's why coal is one of them, especially in North America. We have one of the largest reserves of coal in the world. A few hundred years of production can be sustained with our reserves. So it makes sense to try to use it. Biomass could be another feedstock that can be converted in liquid fuels, and we will be looking for that too. Right now, not only coal, but there are other feedstocks that, like byproducts from the petroleum industry, like petroleum coke, can be also converted into liquid fuels through gasification. Basically, you gasify carbon-containing feedstock. In the main product of the gasification is carbon monoxide and hydrogen, and then you subject this syngas or synthesis gas to a Fischer Tropsch reaction, which convert the syngas into an array of hydrocarbon from carbon 1 to carbon 100 or 200 long chain. And after that, you need to upgrade these hydrocarbon products using typical hydroprocessing reactions like hydrotreating and hydrocracking and hydroisomerization to convert it in those products that are more useful, like mainly diesel, jet fuel, and naphtha. Rentech has been around for 25 years and more than that. has about, right now, 22 patents. It's just 19 there, but concerning Fischer Tropsch technology, and we are working with quite a few more now. It has operated several different pilot plants at different sizes and different type of reactor, from small batch reactor to large bubble column reactors. We believe we have a leadership in North America in cold to liquids and Fischer Tropsch as well. A couple of years ago, the company underwent management change, and mainly the company has seen an infusion of investment that is needed to commercialize any technology that is at lab scale. This investment, the first product of this investment is the product demonstration unit that we are building in Commerce City, Colorado. This is a scale up from a small pilot plant that we have in Denver. It's called PDU, Product Demonstration Unit, and it's an integrated demonstration plant from all the way from coal to diesel and jet fuel. Rentech has operated, like I said, several different plants throughout the years, different sizes, and has worked and invested quite a bit of effort developing a iron-based catalyst that Belva is going to tell you about in the next presentation. Right now we are focusing our efforts in the demonstration plant in Commerce City. It's a 10 to 12 barrels per day plant, and it has a gasification section, gas cleanup, and the Fischer Tropsch and the product hydrating area. This is basically the plan for commercializing our technology. Basically, it's the intention to accelerate the deployment of our technology, and that's why we're building this product demonstration unit. There are several strategic projects with several partners and potential licenses that are going on right now. We are working in feasibility and fit studies for different size plants, from anywhere from 2,000 barrels a day to 25,000 barrels a day. And the idea is to have a design appropriate to be scalable and repeatable. Of course, one of the goals of Rentech is to maintain leadership in Fischer Tropsch technology in North America, and we will continue the innovation and the research and development for better catalysts and better processes. And the idea is also to expand the reach of our process through partnership and licensing. That's a scheme of our product demonstration unit. The unit will be mechanically completed by August, September this year, and it will be operational hopefully in the last quarter of this year. We are building this plant to completely integrate the process, and it's going to demonstrate our technology. And one of the main reasons to operate a plant like this is to obtain the information to scale up the Fischer Tropsch reactors process mainly, but also to assess how the other parts of the plant integrate with the Fischer Tropsch section. that is the coal gasification, the gas cleanup. There's a quite complicated gas cleanup area because coal is not the cleanest feedstock that you can use to make syngas, so it's quite a bit involved cleanup section there. And also we need to make sure that the products that the Fischer Tropsch process make are ultimately converted to the final product that you will sell in the market, which are the liquid fuels. So there's a whole section of product upgrading with several different reactors that do hydro-treat and hydro-process the product from Fischer Tropsch. The main focus for Rentech obviously is the Fischer Tropsch area, but we need to assess the integration with the other sections of the plant and learn how to operate this kind of plant, which will serve to as a ground training for the operations of the commercial sized plant. One of the projects going on already is a conversion from natural gas to coal of a fertilizer plant that Rentech owns in East Dubuque, Illinois. Basically, we will turn this plant from what it was a marginally profitable plant to a very good return by changing natural gas to coal. And in this transformation, we're going to use part of the syngas produced with coal gasification to include in the process scheme a Fischer Tropsch reactor to produce liquid fuels. The first phase for this plant is to basically convert the feedstock to coal and keep producing fertilizers. Second phase is to install a Fischer Tropsch and product upgrading reactors to make fuels about 2,000 barrels a day, 1,500 to 2,000 barrels a day, which is a pretty good scale up from our PDU, which is 10 to 12 barrels a day. And it will allow us to build our learning curve in scaling up these plants. There are several other projects that include polygeneration, means energy production and liquid fuels production. The main drivers of this transformation in East Dubuque is to replace the feedstock or lower cost feedstock. There are significant efficiencies that can be obtained with this transformation, and by introducing Fischer Tropsch process in a generation plant, you can gain quite a bit of efficiency in using the carbon and the hydrogen in the carbonaceous feedstock. Conventional coal power efficiency usually 35%. In a combined cycle, you jump to 45%. If you have a polygeneration plant, it's usually more than 50%. That's the goal, making the small FT facility economic and attractive to the financial community by building and operating this relatively small capacity plant, 2,000 barrels a day. It's another step in proving the technology that is proving that the technology is scalable. This is the current process scheme or block flow diagram of our fertilizer plant using natural gas. And the plant right now needs to import power. By converting it to coal-based feedstock, we will be self-sufficient in power, and we can even export power and keep producing the same amount of fertilizers or fertilizer feedstock, and with the Fischer Tropsch process, using some of the syngas produced by the gasification, we will have other products like Fischer Tropsch diesel and naphtha. Some of the other products that can be produced, an important product for the market is jet fuel also. This is the schedule for the transformation of this plant from natural gas to coal. The first phase has been started, and it will finish by the middle of 2009, and the startup of the gasification section and integration with the fertilizer plant will be late 2009. And it includes the 1,800 barrels a day Fischer Tropsch liquid plant. The capacity for the fertilizer plant is 920 tons per day. We are planning to use a ConocoPhillips gasifier for this particular plant. Some of the other projects we are working with different gasifiers as well. The second phase include expanding the Fischer Tropsch production plant to about 6,800 barrels per day. The investment for both phases, the total is near $1 billion. Another proposed project is located in Natchez, Mississippi. Mainly, the location has been chosen because it's on the river, and you can have access to two different types of feedstocks through barges, coal from the Midwest or petcoke from the refineries in the Gulf area, which are good feedstocks for gasification. So it provides easy access to this feedstock. It will be a self-sufficient plant in terms of power, and it's a good location for CO2 sequestration. There are several oil fields not very far away that can use CO2 to enhance oil production. The project is in the feasibility study right now, and it has quite a bit of support from the local government. Another project going on is with Peabody. It's a coal company to develop basically mine mouth Fischer Tropsch plants. Different sizes depending on the location, anywhere from 10,000 to 30,000 barrels per day of liquid products. The good part of the bad part of a CTL plant is that it generates CO2. The good part is that CO2 is pretty concentrated, and it's easy to get it concentrated in one spot, and so the CO2 can be we said ready to be captured because it's easily concentrated in one spot in the plant. Right now, these projects on mine mouth projects are on phase 1 for the Illinois basin in Montana. Couple of other projects with a company called DKRW in association with Arch Coal, another coal company, for plants in Wyoming and Montana, from 10,000 to 22,000 barrels per day. Right now, one of the projects is in the front-end engineering and design phase. The other project is on pre-feasibility study. Okay, it looks like that was the last one. So this is basically an overview of what Rentech is doing to commercialize the coal-to-liquids technology in North America. I'll try to answer some questions.
Questions? Yeah.
In your PDU, are you perchance putting a water gas shift reactor upstream of the Fischer Tropsch just for kicks?
No, because our Fischer Tropsch technology is based on iron catalyst, and the iron catalyst is known for its ability to do water gas shift pretty well.
How do you sort of discuss, I mean, some quarters say even with an iron catalyst, when you look at the entire economics on the process, it still makes sense to put, I know the technology works, but it still makes sense to bring the hydrogen to carbon ratio up from 0.9 to, let's say, 1.6, 1.7 before putting it into the iron-based Fischer Tropsch reactor?
Our catalyst and our process has very high yields of heavy liquid products or waxes, called in the FT language, with entering the FT reactor with a low hydrogen to CO ratio. And it's because the water gas shift happens pretty fast, and basically most of the reactor will see a hydrogen to CO ratio much higher than 1.5. As a matter of fact, the hydrogen to CO ratio in the outlet is 2 or more.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw you a couple of numbers in your plan. You said the coal conversion is say 30-something percent, and your process is like 51% higher than 51%. What is the definition of that efficiency?
When the efficiency listed in the in that slide shows the amount of carbon converted either into energy, power, or into fuels. Carbon going to fuels.
So based on say, if in your fuel, the sum of the energy that contained in the fuel is compared with the original energy.
It was meant to show that if you have only a power plant based on coal, the utilization of that coal is around 35%.
Right.
If you do a combined cycle, it's a better efficiency. And if you take some of the syngas and make fuel, the amount of carbon that is converted into usable energy is even higher.
Right, but if you convert your syngas to electricity, it will be still like
Yes, but it wouldn't be that efficient if you make it in the into liquid fuels. Yes.
What is the connection between Sasol, historic movement, and your work here?
Connection between Sasol
Yeah.
and our work here.
Yeah.
The connection is that Sasol is our competitor, basically.
Why do this? What is going to give you an advantage? Why are you doing this work when you could buy Sasol technology, or it's It's open market, yes.
Can you buy Sasol technology?
Well, I'm sure you can produce a plant based on Sasol without any problem.
Probably because it's not that easy to do that. But basically, there are some distinctions between Sasol technology and ours. Every single catalyst process is different in the Fischer Tropsch area.
So you feel that
Besides,
that's the fundamental development?
we feel that at this point is still economic to develop our own technology than buying from somebody else.
Can you review with me what's the basis for Rentech? The basis for Rentech. Is this a separate company?
Rentech?
Yes.
Rentech is a publicly traded company, and it doesn't have any link with Sasol.
It's not Peabody or...
No, these are Peabody or DKRW and these other companies, Archcoal, are partners in a specific project with Rentech. They, the public own Rentech through the stock market.
Do you think it's going to go this time?
Excuse me?
Do you think it's going to go this time?
It better go, otherwise I will never retire.
In the small, the demo plant and also the large scale, have you decided or do you have any indication of what acid gas removal or CO2 capture technology you will be using?
We are evaluating those technologies, and we're going to be using a couple of different technologies in our PDU. Obviously, Rectisol and Selectisol are some of them, but we have others on the works.
And CO2 capture?
Certainly, we will have CO2 removal in the front end and in the back end, both. And that's why I said that at a certain point that the good part of the bad part is that you can have this very concentrated CO2, which is not very difficult to get, so that it's ready for use, either to put it in a CO2 pipeline or use it in as a enhancement for oil production. Right now, for example, the CO2 produced in the fertilizer plant is food grade. It's being sold for the food industry.
Well, let's thank the speaker and move to the next president person.